Wait till you see the changes we're making at Howard Johnson.
This is Howard Johnson? This is Howard Johnson?
Är det verkligen Howard Johnson?
This is Howard Johnson?
If you haven't stayed with us recently, you may be in for a surprise.
This is Howard Johnson.
We're changing our rooms, our furnishings, and there's a new attention to service.
This is Howard Johnson.
This is Howard Johnson.
This is Howard Johnson.
Today on Unauthorized Personnel, we're exploring an abandoned Howard Johnson motor lodge in the American Northeast. Howard Deering Johnson was born on February 2nd, 1897 in Boston, Massachusetts. Howard only completed elementary school on account of working for his father's cigar business. When his father passed away, he left Howard the cigar business as well as a hefty $10,000 debt. In order to pay the debt owed, Howard ran the cigar business until 1924, when he decided to liquidate the business and all of its assets. Still saddled with his father's debt, Howard decided to enter the restaurant industry. In 1925, he purchased a small soda shop in Quincy, Massachusetts. He purchased a recipe for ice cream for $300 from a pushcart vendor. And in 3 years' time, he was grossing $240,000 from his ice cream venture. 10 years later, in 1935, Howard Johnson expanded into the lodging industry and began to open hotels or motor lodges branded with the Howard Johnson name. When Howard Johnson retired in 1959, control of his business empire was handed down to his son, Howard Brennan Johnson. When Howard Johnson Sr. passed away, his son ran the company until 1981, when he sold the company and exited the business. It's virtually impossible to describe Americana without including the Howard Johnson name. With restaurants and hotels once virtually everywhere in the United States, they became a household name for countless people across the states. The Howard Johnson name remains relevant as it is now a division of Wyndham, a popular hotel chain. To the best of our knowledge, this location ran as a Howard Johnson until 1985 and ran independently until 1994. Join us as we go inside of this decaying piece of Americana to see what still remains.
Yeah, this is... I'm just gonna keep this on or this was a little bit pretty crazy. This is a time warp. Yeah. Look how far that goes back. I mean...
Oh my God, this place is ginormous.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, a toilet seat in the hallway.
Oh, wow. It's a big room. It's some sort of... I don't know what that was. It must have been like one of the banquet rooms.
Oh, this might have been an event room. Is there another door there? It says Hampton Room
Okay.
on the door. Yeah, this was a convention room. Well, not a convention room, but like a meeting room, gathering room. Yeah.
Definitely is a Hojo's.
Yeah. It's such a weird...
Yeah, the rooms are pretty much all standard.
Oh God, what's all over that curtain?
Probably mold.
Now that looks like a...
Anybody in here?
Clearly somebody's been in here.
Oh. Wonderful. We'll have to blur those out.
Yeah. That looks like blood on that curtain.
Well, somebody's gone through it with a hammer.
Oh, was this part of the restaurant?
Looks like it's like remnants of
Oh, what? Yeah, because like here's the
I call those pulpits.
podium for the
meeting.
yeah lectern.
Oh Lord.
Special frozen drinks.
Those are cheap. They kept food warm in there.
Yeah.
But I don't know what this is. Those are massage beds or something. What are they? It's actually kind of haunting.
Oh.
Look at that.
Yeah, that is
That's kind of weird.
kind of bizarre styling. What's with the guy like
Yeah.
peeking out from the wagon or whatever?
I don't understand. There's like some,
And then is that like a woman with a witch's cap on? And
that's what it looks like.
what is going on in that
I don't
picture?
know. It's very haunting.
Yeah, it's just so bizarre.
I love that. That's when we like, what was that? The 70s, wasn't it? With the
Yeah. Energy conservation. Yeah. Oh my god, so I was just like reading. There was a BuzzFeed article the other day.
It's like a brand new old carpet.
Yeah. If you've ever hung out in a room with paneling that looks like this, you're officially old.
Oh yeah. Dosa. The hand styles of Dosa.
Okay.
Alright.
Marsha. It's possible. All these old soda machines.
50 cents for a pop.
50 cents, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Get in these for the money.
good luck with that. I'm sure there's not much left in there.
Yeah. Oh, check out the beams in the ceiling. I mean, these sort of... The building of these are so standard,
Right.
but they were kind of like fascinating at the same time. I remember looking at them as a kid, like, they're so like architecturally cool.
Yeah, there was no mistaking that it was a Hojo when you saw it.
Right, just like the pizza. Oh my god. Old register.
That old cash register.
Oh.
This is definitely stepping back in a time warp here.
Oh, definitely.
I'm gonna go around.
And then here, it's like typewriter table.
Is that what that is? Typewriter ribbon?
Same thing. Like those stools. They did manual sales rules.
Oh wow.
Oh man. The key holder for all the rooms.
No way.
Yeah.
And there's the phone, the incoming punch downs for the phones. Oh yeah.
This is so cool. I have some lunch. It's actually Kathy's friend and her husband. Jordan. Horns.
Horns. Oh my god. Really?
Something from Horns.
Like, I have not heard of that company in many, many years.
Yeah, same here.
There's like a little attic area up there because there's a ceiling fan up there too.
Yeah.
So there's like a little, maybe it's like a break area or something for like employees.
Could be just dead space.
It might be.
I imagine this place is going to probably be gone in about, I bet you 5 years. This property has to be worth probably $1 million or something.
Probably.
They're not making do with the building now. Oh, that's steel.
Yeah. We're,
Damn, that's a good food.
what's that?
That's an excellent food.
Oh, man.
All that.
This is their telephone switchboard stuff.
Right, but I also think it was connected to their computer. Peripheral.
If it was a digital telephone switchboard, Northern Telecom. Yeah, this was a digital telephone switchboard, so
Yeah.
there was a computer probably that was connected. Oh. Yeah, this is totally a time warp. My God.
There's actually a phone book sitting out over
A phone book? Yeah, this is a complete time warp.
there. Oh my God, it was in my college fold-out couch. Though I did get it at a hotel. Somebody didn't like phones.
Yeah. Yeah. What the hell? Like,
I
really?
think it's a phone.
I'm thinking it might have been at one point or a clock. It might have been the alarm clock. Which I'm sure many of us
That's kind of scary.
have been tempted to do at one point or another, smash up the alarm clock.
Yeah, especially if you're like high.
Or tired. Okay, so this is before we started using 10-digit dialing.
Oh no.
Yeah, because like if you look, it's still 7-digit.
Oh yeah, there's no 412 or 724 or
right.
nothing. Wow. Lounge chair.
Oh yeah, the browns and tans and
Yeah, the vinyl.
taupes and vinyls and oranges. This is screaming 1970s.
Well, that was their color, was brown and orange. I think.
Yeah. Well, but that is such a 1970s thing.
The light switch.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh, this is a suite going over to the next one.
This is crazy. 94. 94. So, okay,
It's
so...
pretty recent then. I mean, for us, like some of the old places we've been in.
Right, but, like, here's the deal, though. This level of decay since 1994 is pretty much unheard of. Like, this is really very slim to no decay for, like, 94.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's not that bad.
No. They have very odd artwork in their rooms. Yeah, this room is actually...
There's definitely work.
There's what?
Oh man. Gotta check out the art deck over there.
Oh, whoa. Yeah, the privacy doors.
I think this is their color, the greens, the browns.
This room is actually really well preserved.
Yeah.
Like, it's rather untouched. And it's been sitting here since 1994 like this.
Yeah.
This is insane. Wow.
Yeah. I feel like a 12-year-old kid.
I know, me too. This place is a total time capsule.
There you go. Hojo.
Oh wow. That's
It was sitting
crazy.
there. Look how many years it was sitting there with dust.
Right. Oh my God.
Wonder where the cups are. Has like a
Placed-
thing to it.
Placed by the Gideons. Not sure who the Gideons are. You had a
Yeah, they were doing construction.
room with a view of the parking lot.
There we go. Putting these back where it was.
Yeah.
Look, the cups.
Yeah.
Still wrapped.
Still wrapped. The plastic inside has yellowed with age.
Yeah. That is so cool. Oh. This room has so much dust on it. It has never been touched.
Yeah.
And mirrors broke and stuff. Blankets are out from the drawers.
Wow.
TV's been turned on. And again, this is another suite.
Was that purposely hung sideways?
Let me see, because usually they're nailed to the wall. Yeah, so we probably just did that.
They just hung it up sideways?
I guess.
Okay.
But look at this chair. Even the beds are different.
Yeah. Yeah, this is
Maybe this might be the older section.
this might
And then
be
they were developing that, making it more up to date.
right.
Like 1994.
That's possible.
Mix and match. Yet they didn't even get to this.
Oh yeah, there's the copper pipes are still there. Holy, ew. Look at these comforters.
And
Like, my God.
these aren't printed. But these chairs are like
Those are different.
online. These are like, they're worth a lot of money.
Are they? They're also pretty moldy.
Yeah. But I'm just saying if they were good shape.
Right.
This is scary. These,
Yeah, the comforters
oh
are.
my God, did you hear the bed?
That's firm.
No, I think it has a lot of moisture in it.
Oh, okay.
Look at this door.
Yeah, that's bent to hell and back.
Yeah. There's a dishwasher
What?
in it. Look.
Oh my God.
What the hell?
They had
This must have been.
like an extended stay kind of scenario.
Oh, well, there's just a washer in here too. Or stove.
This one had this one had a stove and a dining room table.
I wonder if somebody, like one of the employees, lived here.
I don't know, maybe.
And then there's a suite. Coffee machine.
Yeah, this is just crazy.
I'm like, now we're back to the chairs. We're back to these old panels.
Right.
This is pretty recent. That, oh my God. Had to be an employee's apartment.
Might have been, yeah. Oh my God, there's like,
Yeah, it's closed.
but they've been there for like a really long
Oh
time.
yeah, you have tube socks.
Yeah. And bandanas and
Lace droppings.
shorts.
Tube socks.
Yeah, somebody's stuff has been there for a very long time.
Wow.
The railing's gone.
I'm glad that it's not raining.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Ooh, the railing's definitely gone.
Yeah. Yeah, they really just dumped a bunch of shit.
They just made this like a supply room.
Yeah. Dot matrix paper.
Isn't that crazy? This is like borax.
Huh. Or is it white mold? That might be white mold.
It's mold. Yeah, what is that tank?
It's probably water softener tank.
Look at this old crib. We're good in here. We're under a door frame.
Is that a
This
water?
is a maintenance room.
Is this a water softener tank or
That's
something?
what it looks like. This is cool.
Yeah.
Check out the old dial phone on the wall.
The rotary phones.
Oh, there's the laundry room.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. somebody hung phones from the trees. While exploring this hotel, both of us realized how unique this location truly is. Having closed in 1994, this place was remarkably well preserved given the almost 30 years since this hotel closed. It was quite exciting to see hotel rooms with beds still made and items still in place as they were left at closing. This place was truly a time capsule, frozen in time since the mid-1990s. We hope that you enjoyed your time with us today exploring this piece of history, and we look forward to seeing you again on the next episode of Unauthorized Personnel.